Today marks 2 years of CS2, and to celebrate, Valve, the multi-billion-dollar company behind it, gave us a tweet. But don't worry, they've been very busy this past year. Busy making skins riskier to own, peer-to-peer trading slower, and their pockets fatter than ever. This year, I want to take a moment to celebrate the 2-year anniversary by breaking down the good, the bad, and the ugly about the CS2 skins market from my POV. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to help me out for free, or else Gaben is making the trade hold 30 days. Off the cuff, the CS2 market cap has grown from 3.7 billion to over 5.3 billion. Fantastic, right? If you don't mind that it's propped up by a few pump and dump schemes and pure speculation, it's fantastic year-over-year growth. And this is where Valve's genius truly shines. Take the new Armory Pass. Remember grinding for hours on operation missions that were CS adjacent and not really tied to the core game to unlock rewards? Well, now you just have to play the game. Valve, intentionally or unintentionally, monetize the grind itself. Load up any deathmatch or premiere match, and you're slowly making progress towards your next Armory Pass. In an ideal state, I'd love to have both operation missions and regular game modes to choose from, but this idea of content always being available to the player is a win in my mind. This year, Valve also took one of its first steps ever to fix scams that didn't involve duplicating items or removing items from inventories. The trade reversal update means you don't lose your inventory to API scammers anymore, and in turn, every player has to subscribe to this new, terrible trading experience. Every skin you get is now locked for 8 additional days, which is such an overreaction, and I hope these restrictions get loosened at some point in the future. Finally, to cover off on the good, experimentation with skins and the market in general. Love it or hate it, Valve experimenting with how souvenir highlight charms work, sticker designs, or patterns to modernize them for the Source 2 engine has kept the skin scenes refreshing. I won't say the execution has worked out well, but more to come on that later. Alright, we've given Valve their flowers, now let's talk about the bad. Valve's new favorite hobby seems to be running a casino experiment on us. Every single update seems to have one silent goal, either pay Valve directly or buy something from the Steam market. Remember the trade reversal update? Well, that made it so that if you bought a case from anywhere but Steam, you wouldn't be able to open it until 8 days later. The new Genesis terminal? You don't even get a case anymore. You just pay Valve directly for the skin. These solutions that make it into the game are so blunt in their greed and motive, it's really hard to root for Valve at this point. And if the greed wasn't enough, there's also the complete incompetence when it comes with any update, given it will be a guarantee that skins, movement, or visuals, and sometimes all three, will be broken. It feels like the quality assurance at Valve is just a rabid dog that pushes an update at 5 p.m. and the player base is the unpaid beta testers for this multi-billion-dollar indie company. I truly hope next year they took a long, hard look at their own internal operations and what leads to every single update being broken. Sometimes it feels like the patch notes are written by someone in a murder mystery novel, but they just want to hint at what the answer is, but not actually give it to you. For example, from my perspective, this Genesis update was one of the worst attempts at a money grab that I've ever seen. Yes, I get it. Regulations are something that Valve needs to pander to, but what's wrong with the extra feature that was previously used? I struggle to see this as a necessary update, and of course, I would expect the patch notes to explain this in detail. Why is this being done? What's the vision? What am I missing? Oh great, okay, so we didn't get any rationale, logic, or visibility into this update. Great, so I'll just speculate why this update even exists. And from my perspective, this is one of my greatest pet peeves with Valve, is just the lack of visibility into the things that they do. The final point I want to touch on today are pump and dumps. This summer, stickers, capsules, everything became a target for groups to manipulate. It seems more and more like a lawless financial system and is practically begging for government scrutiny when items shoot up from $1 to $500 over the course of a few months. And Valve's response to this? Nothing. Valve almost gives you 0 tools to protect yourself from these pump and dumps. I'm not saying I want Valve to play a role in the market by setting the prices or capping prices on items, but at least give us the information within the Steam Market UI to identify these pump and dumps. Similar to EVE Online. In EVE Online, you get detailed statistics such as the official price history graphs, the daily average, median, min-max, etc., etc. It's a very rich data source that they provide to you directly. I think enabling users with this data can help mitigate some of the pump and dumps we see. So yeah, CS2 is 2 years old, and Valve celebrated by reminding us that they're still allergic to transparency, quality control, and respect in their community. The market cap is bigger than ever, but in my opinion, it's more fragile and predatory than ever as well, and Valve seems determined to do too much in the areas that don't matter and too little in the areas that do. So happy anniversary, I guess. See you at year 3. And if you, like me, are still strapped into this market, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.